Fuck it, we're doing it.
Hey, what's up, trash talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
Here is a firm believer in all men are created equal, but not all men live equal. That is why there's a certain select number of people in the DoD who decided to jump out of airplanes. And yes, we are better than you. 100%. Now, don't be the first triggered pansy to say, well, airborne's not relevant. You haven't jumped since World War II. Well, that's not accurate, for one. And two, it's like having a jalopy or a 68 Mustang. Well, a 68 Mustang's no longer relevant. Doesn't matter. It's still a better car than yours. So take it easy this National Airborne Day and just accept that we are better than you.
So, two things for today's Honesty Cap. First thing, how do all my boys from the 101st feel knowing that the Army decided that instead of actually making you airborne, they would just create a whole new division that's airborne because you just aren't cutting it? It sucks. Thing number two, for all the folks that were like, oh, airborne is irrelevant, doesn't even matter. They're making a whole new division of just airborne people because they're relevant. Think about that. How's that feel? Does that hurt a little bit? I hope it hurts a little bit.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Dave, are you there?
Well, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're right on time now.
Yeah.
Must have gone downstairs.
I know,
where
right?
The internet is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a mess. My router's actually upstairs, buddy, so I don't know what the hell's going on
like
today.
I said,
Usually I don't.
It's used to going downstairs, so it goes down and then goes back up. Everybody knows how the internet works, guys.
Those of you watching right now, Dave, he's been out of a job for a while. He's a little poor. He doesn't have any money, and so he's using a hotspot. So that's why we can't hear him and we can't see him. But if you could go buy some T-shirts so that we could buy him a new router.
Yeah,
something.
it's not even like a hotspot like a cell phone. It's a hotspot like those ones that you used to buy from the people that were rotating out.
It's from Walmart, yeah.
Like the little black
Yeah.
ones. They only work in like 3 countries, and America is not one of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
America.
I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. So, yeah, to the community, please help me out if you can. All right.
It's all right.
You should get a sign. You need a
You don't
sign.
really talk that much except when the guest is talking. So just once we do your conspiracy, then we're good.
Welcome to episode 136 or 137 of the Trash.
Yeah, you don't know
Our
what
special guest today is Ciaccio with Darley Defense, and as usual, I'm here with Nick and Buddy. Ciaccio.
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 It is an Italian name. How do you
That's
pronounce
the only
it? How do you
Italian I
pronounce
speak.
it? That's the only Italian you speak. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Ciaccio.
Ciaccio. Yeah.
Ciaccio. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
how's
what's
everybody
going on,
doing today?
fellas?
Good? Yeah.
Cheers.
Good. Now that I got my 10th Mountain vodka and club soda, we're doing all right. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
I poured me a little extra vodka today, so
Yeah, we
I'll
did.
be feeling good here in about 20 minutes.
yeah, Rob and I drink a lot of 10th Mountain in DC. A lot of it.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying last week. Yeah.
What's
Thank
up,
God
buddy? How's the
for
game
that.
going? How's that 11th ranked Alabama doing? Which I said last week.
You know what they're doing? They're the same thing. You remember when you used to fall asleep on security, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm not fucking sleeping. I'm just luring them in. That's all we're doing. We're luring Tennessee in. Off the security. Then they're gonna pounce in the second half. You just wait. Just wait.
A high-ranking officer once said, "Wait till you see the whites of their eyes." That's with muskets. All right, muskets.
Yeah. Well, I shoot better when I see their eyeballs. I tell you what,
J.C. Callahan's nice.
when I was in Ranger School down in Florida, you know the place.
Yeah, I was there.
I was pulling security after a raid and looked down because some ants had bit my hand. They're biting my hand. And I had looked over. I saw the RI 150, 200 meters away, like sitting there getting bit by these ants on both my arms. I looked down at him, and like 2 seconds later, I looked back up. Like I just looked down and then looked back up, and the RI was right there. And he goes, you fell asleep. Wake up, Ranger. And I was like, I was awake the whole time. Like I was literally looking at the ants that bit my arm. I promise you, for probably 3 months after I graduated Ranger School, I'm pretty sure I got a major minus for that, or at least a minor minus, but whatever. Mostly because I refused to believe that I had fallen asleep. I was like,
you did.
Looking at my arm. It was 3 months after I graduated Ranger School. I was just sitting there one day, and I was like, wait a second. That motherfucker made it 200 meters in like 2 seconds.
Because you were sleeping.
I was fucking sleeping. But
You know, I'm actually glad to hear you have an ant story in Ranger School. I do have an ant story. I was the RTO when we were doing the what's the island out there that you
Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa Island.
So we're on that last part. I'm the RTO, and one of the RIs was from, I don't know, one of the battalions. He looked over at me. It's dark, and he goes, "Hey, Ranger, rucksack flop." Who doesn't want a rucksack flop, right? I sit down, and probably 5 minutes while we're waiting for them to bring the Zodiacs up, all of a sudden it's just burning, and like my legs are on fire, and I'm like, what the hell? So I stand up and I'm looking around. I'm like, hey man, I grab my Ranger. I'm like, dude, man, there's something biting me. He turns on remember the old L-shaped red lens flashlight?
Oh yeah.
Off a little bit. So he shines at, he's like, holy shit, dude. RI turns around, looks at me. He's like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? And I'm like dancing around. I'm trying to get all these ants off of me.
I got ants in my pants, Sergeant.
He makes me strip butt naked. Butt naked. It's February in Florida. We're getting ready to get on the Zodiacs. I've got all my clothes off. I'm standing butt naked with I ain't tan. Let's just put it that way. And throws me in the Zodiac with no clothes on and tells me to get dressed. He threw my BDUs and everything into the ocean. And it's February. And he's like, shut up, Ranger. Put that shit on. Let's go. And I'm literally, while the guys are paddling, I'm like sitting on half of the Zodiac trying to put my boots and my pants and freezing. Yeah.
What's more
So
fucked up is
you found a way to sham out of one of the last patrols.
I was gonna say,
I don't got a paddle.
Yeah, there were at least 3 dudes in that Zodiac. We're like, this bitch, first of all, carried the fucking
Here in this
radio, so we
motherfucker
didn't
right
have
now.
shit. Now we're paddling our ass off. He's just fucking.
Yeah, I didn't paddle. That's right. I didn't paddle.
Like
Dave's like, not only am I lagging, I don't know what they're talking about.
They're like,
Not offended. Not
Pierce
offended.
came out, and you were the only one that they were like a 10. He's the worst person in the squad. Never does shit. Doesn't carry any of
I
it.
would share a foxhole with him.
I
got
sat
hurt by-
the Zodiac, sipping on my coffee. Row.
Guys, hey,
Gracie says, "Wow, Ciaccio is handsome. He's married, Gracie."
Yeah, that's probably my daughter, actually.
A daughter? Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's,
look at that.
that's
Hey,
the only thing
but
I'm
hey,
saying.
that is a YouTube comment, and Dave usually says this, but go like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We are 100% shadow banned on there because of how we talk. So go on there, like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell, whatever. I'm like, it's stupid. But yeah, thanks for commenting. And JC Callahan, he was a mountain RI.
My only Santa Rosa story is my ranger buddy fell asleep on Santa Rosa Island waiting for the ambush to kick off. Fell asleep, and we weren't right beside each other at the time, but he fell asleep. He woke up because he had a dream that the ambush had kicked off. Woke up, flipped his shit on fire.
Just start wasted, baby.
And he was a Dominican dude. So on the other side of the ambush, you hear bow. Oh shit! And he did Florida twice.
Yeah, you get another shot at Santa Rosa Island, buddy.
Yeah. Don't worry, you won't make the same mistake twice, partner. You'll be all right. He's a good dude. He was also the guy that fell asleep in mountains. We had traded out, and he had a saw tied to him, but he took an M4 when he started pulling security. Anyway, the saw was tied to him. He got up in mountains, walked about 15 meters, like sleepwalking outside the perimeter, and was standing there with his saw or with his M4. But the saw had drugged behind him the whole time on his fucking tie down. The RI came in and was like, this motherfucker, like, hits him in the chest with his hand, and he just kind of fucking dips back. He tried to pull the trigger on his M4, but he had his hand over the trigger. And he's like, fuck. So he goes over, grabs the saw, went to pull the trigger on the saw, but it was so caked in shit from dragging across the machine gun crew saw the RI give up and was like, fuck it, and then walked back out to where he came from. He was done. He was sleeping.
Man, some of the best stories ever.
Stories
ever from that school. Hey, Dave, let's do your part.
Yeah, let's do it. Unless you guys can't hear me, so we'll see.
Can.
So I did some research on a conspiracy yesterday, and I actually went down this rabbit hole, and it's pretty interesting. Have you guys heard of Kincaid Cave in the Grand Canyon? So back in the early 1900s, they took part of the Grand Canyon and they made it off limits. Okay, so it was just for government exploration. And this guy Kincaid, who actually was with the Smithsonian family or whatever, said, "Hey, I'm going to travel down to this area prior to becoming off limits and see what I can find." And I sent Chris a video. I don't see the video. He's going to upload it. There was a big article about what this guy found. So basically hieroglyphs, Egyptian artifacts, drawings, like all kinds of crazy stuff. So Chris is going to play the video. We'll watch the video. You guys tell me what you think. Long story short, like I said, there was an article. And then 5 days later, they were like, this is a hoax. This never happened.
He sent it to
this article was published. So yeah, just listen to that video and we'll go from there.
In 1908, President Teddy Roosevelt wanted to declare the Grand Canyon off limits to all timber and mining operations. It would take another 11 years for Congress to designate the Grand Canyon a national park. Sensing a final opportunity for adventure, explorer G.E. Kincaid took a boat down the Colorado River and through the Grand Canyon. The canyon was rich in minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and Kincaid wanted to see what he could find before the area was closed off for good. About 40 miles upriver from the El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid saw stains in the sediment formation about 2,000 feet up. He tied off the boat and got out to investigate. Kincaid couldn't find a trail, but after a short hike, he found something interesting covered in desert brush. Steps, hundreds of them, carved in sandstone, steps that wound their way up to a high shelf on the side of the canyon. He followed the steps until he came across a cavern entrance, an entrance that was clearly man-made. Kincaid entered the cavern and turned on his flashlight. On the walls, he saw writing, but it wasn't English or Native American writing. It was ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Kincaid lifted his flashlight and saw that the tunnel ran far into the distance. He didn't realize it at the time, but this was only the beginning. When G.E. Kincaid tied off his small wooden boat to investigate the strange coloration of the rock wall, he was hoping to find clues that would lead him to a mineral deposit. He wasn't expecting to find hieroglyphics. When Kincaid noticed chisel marks in the walls, he drew his pistol, turned on another light, and slowly walked deeper into the gloom. He kept detailed notes of everything he saw.
The main passageway is about 12 feet wide, narrowing to 9 feet toward the farther end. About 57 feet from the entrance, the first side passages branch off to the right and left, along which on both sides are a number of rooms about the size of ordinary living rooms of today, though some are 30 by 40 feet square. These are entered by oval-shaped doors and are ventilated by round air spaces through the walls into the passages. The walls are about 3 feet 6 inches in thickness. The passages are chiseled or hewn as straight as could be laid out by an engineer. The ceilings of many of the rooms converge to a center. The side passages near the entrance run at a sharp angle from the main hall, but toward the rear they gradually reach a right angle in direction.
G.E. Kincaid now realized he was in a huge complex. He estimated that as many as 50,000 people could have lived here. In some rooms he found granaries with shelves of glazed pottery, many of which still contain seeds. He found cooking areas and a huge dining hall. The rooms were full of ancient artifacts. Kincaid carefully wrapped a few small metal and ceramic objects for later study. Another large room Kincaid described as an area for metalwork, a technology that should not have existed in this area.
Here are found tools of all descriptions made of copper. These people undoubtedly knew the lost art of hardening this metal, which has been sought by chemicals for centuries without result. On a bench running around the workroom was some charcoal and other material probably used in the process. There's also slag and stuff similar to mat, showing that these ancients smelted ores, but so far no trace of where or how this was done has been discovered, nor the origin of the ore.
G.E. Kincaid explored the underground complex for several hours, still having no idea when this place was used, what it was used for, or who the builders were. Then he came across another large room, a crypt. The crypt had shelf upon shelf and row upon row of mummies, dozens of them. At this point, G.E. Kincaid realized that if he was going to explore this entire underground city, he was going to need help.
All right. So there's a so there's an entire there's like a whole segment on this because he worked for the Smithsonian and supposedly like they grabbed a bunch of artifacts. Long story short, there was an article in 1909 about this in the Arizona Gazeta is the magazine or whatever, the newspaper that they had, and they posted twice about it, and then a week later they said it was all a hoax. So I am 100% bought into this, that this occurred. Okay. I think that they probably did find, we always talk about the alien thing, but Nick always mentions ancient civilizations and ancient technology, people that were way more advanced. And the fact that they found Egyptian stuff and hieroglyphs in the Grand Canyon kind of changes everything, what we've been taught. So they probably just wanted to cover that aspect up and keep it a secret. But I am 100% bought in on this, that this occurred. And that's my take on that. Ciaccio, what's your take? Is this a bunch of bullshit? Did it occur? Like, what do you think?
I 100% believe it. So I guess so. I've heard that before, and I also heard that he, I think it's in the article in the Arizona Gazette that he actually sent a bunch of artifacts to the Smithsonian, and
Correct.
They haven't found them. They say they don't know what he's talking about, and they also won't let anybody back into the Grand Canyon in those areas to go back and look. Yeah, I 100% believe it. I think we've had technologies, and I think we're like a fourth, fifth generation of civilization on this world. How else do you have temples 300 feet under the ocean right now?
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. Buddy, what's your take?
I'm still writing notes. For a minute, I fell asleep. Part of that video. It was like 40 minutes long.
I had to find like the best one that was like gives enough information. There were other ones that were like 10 minutes.
I have some questions. I've got some questions. All right. First of all,
wait. Buddy can write?
How did this?
We don't know.
So.
Hieroglyphics.
I don't know. He acts like it.
Draw symbols.
So first of all, why is it every time it's like an oldie, like a 1900s explorer, or like it's the guy's always apparently from Alabama? There I was creeping into the cave when I found some slag. They must have known.
Because they didn't have cell phones back then.
I just don't understand why it's always some Southern dude. Drives
No,
me.
real quick, buddy. I get the comedic, relief on that one, but there are actually like 4 explorers prior to him who found this stuff as well that
Were they
date
from
back into the
Mississippi and
1800s.
Tennessee?
I don't know where they were
No.
from, but it dates back to the
Anywho,
1800s.
here's the other
Anywho, just
problem. Here's
there's
my other
your
question.
answer.
How does this dude? You said he worked at the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
He was tied. I don't know the full details, but he was like tied to the Smithsonian like family or whatever.
I think he worked for the
Yeah, you got to look that
Smithsonian.
up. Yeah, I think yeah, Chacho's right. He worked for them, and he was sent there to explore, and that's where all the artifacts were like confiscated. Because there's a whole nother conspiracy that I might do next week is about the Smithsonian, that they have their own like Area 51 type deal where they have so much shit that they don't share with the general public. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
All right. But this is what leads me into my debunk of this. Right,
Okay.
like a artifact laundering scheme where they
Yeah.
just sent this guy to a cave and they're like, we found all this Egyptian shit that they had actually stolen from Egypt. That way the Egyptians couldn't get it back. And they're
Ooh.
like, no, this is our stuff. We found it. But it's like Egyptian mummies, my man. No, my brother in Christ. We found this in the Grand Canyon. These are our mummies. That specifically says Tutankhamun on it. Like it's got a no. That's America's Toot uncommon. Toot less common. It's actually Toot less common. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it could be a way to steal some artifacts. Maybe we got some shit going. Maybe we got some crooked stuff going on here. And then what else did I have?
Well, hey, buddy, did they
Quick, back to your
locate
artifacts, like what about the
on a
caves
raft?
though, and how they were built and all that crazy stuff, and like the hieroglyphs and all that?
Well, I mean,
Well, how did they get them there in 1900?
Yeah.
well, he found all that shit in
Indiana
one day.
Jones.
Like in one day, he's like just walking. He didn't like. I don't know about you,
whip.
but if I'd been walking through a cave and found one room with all of the with like where 50,000 people could have hung out and had grain, I probably would have stopped there and been like, "Let's look at this room. We'll look at the rest later." You know what I mean? But this dude's just like, "Fuck it, let's keep going." Like, oh, it's the metallurgy room. Keep on moving. Mummies! I found my mummy. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, it just sounds like we stole some shit. Probably with some Egyptians. We
I had to
gave
turn
them,
my
we gave them
iPhone
like 4
flashlight on,
MREs,
around
and we were
taking
like,
pictures.
"Hey, for 4 MREs, we just want whatever's over there." And then we took it and we brought it back, and we were like, "Somebody's gonna want this back at some point." We're like, "Well, how can we keep it?" And we were like, "Let's just say we found it here." They also have, but that being said, I'll help you out with your conspiracy a little bit. There's also some Egyptian pyramid stuff they found in Tennessee at one point. There's another site in Tennessee, like over in East Tennessee.
Really?
So, yeah, when they, I think they're building a dam. They're excavating for a dam. They found like the bottom, or like a pyramid, and then some Egyptian artifacts or something. So it could be a thing. But I also feel like we do a lot of. I know that America's the good guys, but we do steal some shit every now and then. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We'll take it stuff. So
I can get behind that. That's dope. I gotta look that up, buddy. Okay, so you're like, probably not. We stole some shit, but there is a possibility that it could have happened.
Yes.
Was that a fair assessment
That'd be a
what
fair
you said?
assessment. That
Yeah.
would be.
Okay. Good shit.
Nice.
Nick.
We got Crystal on YouTube saying hi. What's up, Crystal?
Hey.
And then we got Kurt, our resident actual conspiracy theorist, where he's like, we're going into World War III with Israel. As I said, stay ready, brother. You never know.
Ooh.
All right.
Now.
So
Wait.
And then we got
I got you.
a lot of chats on there, and Damien, my old friend, says you guys should go on a VT fact finding mission and go check it out. Maybe we should, Damien. Maybe we should.
You know what?
Yeah, so
that sounds like a good show. We got to get some sponsors. We'll do like some kind of like underground archaeology shit.
like Tim Kennedy, when he's looking for Nazis in South America.
Oh,
yeah, like that.
He's looking for fucking, he's looking for Hitler. And he's like, oh, I'm using this program that I got from Special Forces from the Fox Corps.
I like that idea though. We need some sponsors with like some outdoor survival gear and stuff, and then we go.
We kind of have one. It literally does outdoor survival stuff. So yeah,
Boom.
Yeah, good
There
segue.
we go.
We got We are
All right.
starting.
Hey guys,
next
we're
week.
gonna go find some Egyptian shit.
Yeah.
Assalamu
Next
alaikum.
next week we start our sponsorship with 4Patriot, our partnership with them. So 4Patriots is coming in, and we're gonna help them sell some of their generators and their meal prepping food and all that good stuff. Their outdoor survival stuff. So,
I bet.
yeah.
Hey, I will bet you dollars to donuts. By the way, that if we wanted to go to the Grand Canyon and find this place, we get ourselves. Here's the plan:
Paul, one of our partners has a freaking RV. We're good.
511 tactical pants, some T-shirts, and clipboards. We walk right in. Just tell them that we're supposed to be there. You get an Area 51 that way, guaranteed.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Do you know who the fuck I am? I have a requisition and a clipboard.
You see the cargo pants? Who wears these pants? Nobody normal wears these pants.
Nobody wears these unless they're on a
This clipboard. Like, I mean business.
Or they're retired and at Walmart.
Yeah.
You got to have a Sun 2 watch.
Yeah, Dave mentioned it with the conspiracy. Like I always try to, like, when people are like, they want to think that like we're the greatest generation. This is the greatest civilization. This is the greatest. Like, there's no way these idiots could have known that. Yeah, like there was a lot of smart people back in the day on record, and who knows how old this freaking Earth is. And again, this is what I love fascinating about one of the wonders of the world, which is the Grand Canyon. A lot of weird shit going on in there. For those of you who think the Earth's like 15 million years old and carbon dating and all that stuff, there's layers of the Grand Canyon higher that are older with carbon dating than lower in the Grand Canyon when they do the carbon dating. Like, how the hell does that work? How is like how is the lower part like younger than that? What happened? All right, so
flipped. It did a flip. Everybody knows that. They turned over
once again, I don't think carbon dating's good. Like I think it sucks, but whatever. I'm gonna go with Buddy on this one though. Like, I think we stole a bunch of shit. And where it came from in Tennessee, that was obvious when the freaking the Crusaders, when they came down, the Knights Templar came like in the 1100s. They got some shit when they were over there. They were over there before the Crusades and stuff like that. They stole some shit, right? And maybe they had some Egyptians with them. You never know. And that dude just started writing on the wall, like whatever. And then the Spanish, right? They came up, and when they were looking for China, instead they just found South America and killed everybody, right? Like they probably had some Egyptian shit with them too. Who knows, right? And they just started writing on the wall. So I'm gonna go that way. I think it's a lot of stolen stuff. That's what I'm going with.
I like that.
But, yeah.
Okay.
But what's
I always wonder one thing. I wonder one thing. With all the technology we have today, we still have no idea how the pyramids were built. So are we really that smart? Do we really know? But I agree. I think, man, you find stuff in a cave here. There were people on this continent well before Columbus and it's being proven every day. We're rewriting history. So, stolen stuff, throw it in a cave, throw some mummies in the Smithsonian. We have no mummies. We're not giving them back.
The big question with that, and I'll leave it at that, is, are they purposely teaching us false information on how they were built? And then why? Or are they just teaching us because that's
the same reason why Napoleon blew the nose? Napoleon blew the nose off the Sphinx because he didn't want people to think that these people rolling around with camels and freaking stuff over there.
Because that literally changes everything. Like, okay, the Egyptians and their pyramids. Well, now we have pyramids in the U.S. and the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Like, that just rewrites history and what we were taught in school.
There's pyramids everywhere.
There's the question, like, why would they do that? Because if they knew, but they are doing it on purpose, is like, that's
why would
a bigger
they build
problem in
pyramids?
itself.
We're taught that the pyramids were tombs. They've never found one single sarcophagus or mummy. Nothing.
Have you ever been in the pyramids?
Yeah,
I've been in the pyramids. I've also
major flex with your first
deployment. Yeah, you guys deployed there
in Sinai.
2001, 2002. You got No,
I've seen like the rooms that are in the pyramids could have held a bunch of stuff, right? But like I've been down the little corridors to get into those rooms that are like marble and granite. I mean, there's no expanding and shrinking them. They are the size that they are. And then I've also been to like the Egyptian National Museum with all the sarcophagus, like the giant
Very Egyptianish of you, buddy.
Egyptianal. Yeah. Like the Canadian.
Egyptian.
But anyway, you can't make fun of me if I correct.
I'm not. I'm just trying. I'm trying to make up more words like you did.
I feel like if you're
Egyptology,
you can just make up your own shit. But anyway, there's no way that shit fits down the fucking shafts to get into those rooms. Like the shafts are too small.
Yeah.
So unless they built it,
my wife's closet is not that big. You'd be amazed how much shit you can get into a small area.
And you are right. Like nobody's ever found a body in the pyramids. They're all like around the pyramids in the graveyards that are around there, but that's it. So
nice.
Well, and one last thing to the pyramids, like some of them, like the rocks and the stone that they needed were like hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, well, they just floated those down the Nile.
Desert.
That they know how they did. And,
well,
back then, the water around the pyramids during the fall, like the wet season, they could basically float the boats right up to it, and they would drop them off. That being said, they're still moving tons and tons of shit in a really quick time. Like it's either way, it's amazing. Whether we did it or aliens did it, it's still. I mean, it's amazing. Aliens. It probably was aliens. Now here's my theory on how the pyramids. It was aliens. Aliens did it. They got a bunch of people from south of our border over there. Dude, those pyramids would have been done quick as fuck. Have you ever seen like Mexican construction workers?
Yeah, I see a lot of it.
First of all, there's a million of them on every project. They've got a barbecue and they've got a microwave. They don't stop working. Best workers ever. They're crushing it. They would have had pyramids done in like
a week and a half, tops.
3 days.
If there's a Cowboys game on in probably 2 days.
Yeah. So yeah. And the only thing that they ever would have said, if you ask them a question or you tell them that you wanted a pyramid like a different way, sí, senor, and then they keep fucking moving.
Yeah.
No, that's all they say. I'm just saying it was illegal aliens.
This is a good one. It's got us go a little bit. I like it.
Are we just doing all conspiracy theories today, or what?
We can. But I mean, it's I was gonna say to those of you watching the show for the first time, welcome. And go get a refill, Rob. But show us what you got rocking under that desk. I've already seen it.
We call it a pig in a blanket around my house.
No, those of you watching for the first time, again, some shows are very serious, some are not. Some are really, most of them are funny. But we do this for our own mental health because we're all fucking crazy, right? So we get to just come on for an hour, shoot some shit, and we love everybody commenting and everybody watching with us. We love the community that's been built, and it's just a great time. But buddy, let's get into your honesty cap. I feel like it's been a month.
Ooh, so my honesty cap is completely on the guy that was talking earlier about the U.S. troops in Israel. First of all, I hate to tell everybody this, but U.S. troops have been in Israel for the last 75 years or so, maybe 80. They've been there for a hot minute. So U.S. troops, special operations being in Israel is not that out of the ordinary. So don't get fucking nuts just because. But what I find interesting is now that a war is in the news, or maybe like the possibility of a war is going into the news. We are in the weird area where everybody has to make it somehow. It's like the 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but they like have to find some way to like figure out how to either directly or indirectly make it about them. Like they're like fucking so what do you think about the Israel Palestine thing? I've got a cousin that works as a water purification specialist over in the 352nd MP Quartermaster Corps. You think You think he's 3/4 retarded? You think he's gonna be able to? He's gonna have to go? You think they're gonna draft everybody? You think that's what? No, they're not gonna. We're not fucking. First of all, Israel is the size of like North Alabama. Would we need to draft people to go there for? It's not a thing. Secondly, if
I mean, Belgium.
World War III, they're gonna draft you. You're at the place where are they gonna send you? To your house? You're just your house. We're not fucking invading people. Come on, let's fucking think a little bit. And probably before you send fucking your cousin Mongo, who fucking cleans the big shit particles out of the water, they're probably gonna pick up, like, I don't know, the 82nd, the 101st, 10th Mountain, probably some more special forces people. But all of the people on this, like, we probably have a better chance of getting called back up to go to war. And it's gonna be like, they'd have us. It'd be like the beginning of a really shitty fucking war movie where it's just like old fucking guys going in, and it's like the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, and then all of a sudden one of us stops. It's like, oh my fucking back, shit. That's
or Rob's hip. Oh,
Real funny.
all the music kind of fucking stops for a second because one of us can't hold our piss for a minute, but we're still better than fucking your cousin Mongo. Calm down, everybody. Let's just wait for shit to fucking pan out. We'll see what happens. I bet that if you just let Israel do its thing, it could just take care of the problem. We don't have to do shit. Israel is so fucking good at dealing with it at this point. Like, there was a time 60 years ago where we were like, hey, we need to give them some shitty fighter planes so they can defend themselves. You know what they ended up doing is taking those shitty fighter planes and making them better. They made them better. They invented their own shit. They made the Uzi. The fucking Uzi is them. That's all them. That's their own shit. They've got guns that shoot around corners. They can just, like, look at a video, put it in the corner, Hezbollah, and just fucking.
You got that crazy dome, dude. That crazy dome.
They don't give any. Like, they got it. Calm down. We don't need your cousin Mongo. We don't need fucking your fucking Aunt Betty. We're good. They can deal with it for right now. Let's just all calm down. Let's have a cup of fucking some 10th Mountain bourbon of some sort. Maybe some coffee. Watch the Tide start rolling against Tennessee because they need all of your hopes and prayers more than you feel. Let's pray for Alabama. All right. Anyway,
are we gonna invade Alabama now?
Cheers, buddy. Cheers. That was good, buddy. That was good.
Yeah, I heard invade Alabama.
Yeah.
Northern
you
Alabama.
motherfuckers could try to invade Alabama.
Well, that's where the pyramid is, you said, right? We got to go there.
Oh, Tennessee, East Tennessee.
That was Tennessee.
East Tennessee's where the pyramid is. Yeah.
No, I'm what we call the outer layer of security for Alabama. I'm just in Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go. You're the
Yeah, you guys
We're the perimeter security.
Yeah.
What's the whole thing about women getting drafted now? Like, who started that whole? Like,
women getting drafted?
Was
You
there
know,
That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Who started that was a bunch of really pissed off infantrymen that were mad that women could be combat arms. And they're like, okay, well, wait till the draft starts.
Well, we still don't issue them selective service numbers, so I didn't know it's like something recently happened.
No,
Where,
you know,
like,
because
it's like all over the
think
internet. Everybody's talking about it. I'm like, I haven't seen anything. Like, did Congress pass a bill? Like,
Israel has had women in combat arms.
Absolutely.
First of all,
years.
Israel doesn't have women in combat arms. They've got super attractive women in combat arms. Those are
Okay.
fucking.
Yeah, fair point.
I'm attacking. Just get me.
All of a sudden, I just became a Jew.
Hold me down.
Just like that, Rod Carew.
I would put a bunch of those Israeli women on the front line just because as soon as you lock eyes with them, you drop your weapon. You're just like, I give up. I surrender to you. I have been looking at you my whole life.
Maybe you know the nation of Islam.
It's moralizing for some like terrorist fucking Islam, like to get fucking popped.
Well, maybe the barbaric Islamic terrorist type faction of Islam had figured this out, which is why they do Sharia law. It's like cover these women up because we got to stay focused. All right, we can't just be dropping our rifles every time we see a hot chick. So like, they're just not used to it. But that was good. That was
anyway.
That was good, buddy. It's been a while.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You never know.
Yeah, well, the draft did get close to women being drafted a couple of years ago. It got brought up on.
I know that.
Actually.
Yeah.
And like I went nuts. I got triggered. I was a triggered pansy when that happened. So I was like, hey, first of all, I have 2 daughters. If any one of them get drafted, I will find every single one of the Congress people that voted for it and cut their head off.
You know what? You know what?
I'm not for it.
Every single freaking one of them.
I do wish that Dave was still in recruiting, because I would love to hear the conversations right now where the recruiter. You seen that meme where the guy's like behind the tree doing this little number? I feel like recruiters are like World War III. They're doing this, and they're like, I'm about to get somebody with 3 neck tattoos, 1 face tattoo, and 4 felonies. Filling these contracts.
All of a sudden, there's active gangs on military bases again. Weird. So like,
we gotta get these. USEREC is struggling. I know that USEREC is struggling.
Just throw more money at them. But hey, anyways, I get the distinct privilege to introduce our guest, who has slipped right into the VTT fashion on his. I think he's on his
Ciaccio, no me
italiano. His third Old Forester. Now, if you read it, if you read the intro and all that kind of stuff, I was like, I didn't know that they had like supply units in Ranger Regiment. But we found a guy that knows everything about supply who happens to be a Ranger. So it was like, holy shit. Like, what? That's the unicorn. Because everybody, especially Buddy, Green Brace, like, your shit just shows up. Like, hey, I need this. And all of a sudden, poof, it's there. Right? Like, 82nd, we're borrowing each other's boots and stuff like that. Hey, you got 2 rights. Like, let me get a left one. I don't know. Something's going on here. But hey, Rob, welcome to the Dumpster Fire. Tell us a little bit about your service, and then what that weird logo is with that flame on it, like you building fire engines or something like that. But tell us about the fire engine company you work for.
So joined in 93, mechanic, and then went to RIP in 97 and spent the rest of my career, retired in 14 with the Ranger Regiment. And like you said, so back then, well, even nowadays, doesn't matter what your MOS is. When you go to the Ranger Regiment, you go through selection and there's no MOSs. It's E5 and below, and then E6 and above, right, for the 2 different selections. So I went in as an E4, went through all the different schools, the specialized schools. You still got to meet all those standards. And then about 2004, 2005, somewhere in there, when we were knee deep in the GWAT, as we're deploying, regiment didn't have any support companies or anything, right? You're on your own. Whatever support you have is what you have. And it's kind of basically a 90-day package is kind of how the regiment was set up. So working with the other organizations, they had support elements. And basically I came back in 2003, 2004 and said, all right, bullshit. We need help. I can't do it with 3 or 4 mechanics and 7 different outstations and all. And then on top of that, back then the regiment had 12 vehicles. We had some RSOVs, some special, some bikes and things like that. When GWAT started, we had to make the companies mobile. So instead of having one company that had vehicles, now the entire battalion had them. So that transitioned basically into that whole support side. So I moved up to regimental headquarters and then worked with USASOC and JSOC, and we built the Echo company, or the support company, which was kind of mirrored after the GSB a little bit. The difference between the GSB and the Ranger RSTB or Echo companies is the selection process. So there's not a levy. You're not sent to GSB, and at the Ranger Regiment you still have to go through RAS1, RAS2. You have to meet all those requirements. So that was kind of the end. Went through Ranger School, Jump Master School, SEER, all those other schools to all the shooting schools and breacher courses. So we were still, the regiment's kind of a smaller element. It's a larger element inside of JSOC, but a smaller element when it comes to what they're doing and the support they have. So we built that, and now Echo Company is alive and well. They're I think anywhere from 80 to 120. I think the MTO is about 120. So moving up through the ranks, that offered different leadership positions, and ended up retiring out of the regiment as a sergeant major out there. And just kind of, they're still alive and well. So now when you see the regiment, those guys have internal support along with the external support that comes from the different organizations inside the different tiers. And that transitioned into what I do now, with Darley, knowing the procurement side, knowing the support side, knowing the infantry side and the combat operations side. It was kind of a perfect match with Darley Defense, Darley. And I'm in the defense side of the division of Darley, and the company's been around over 115 years. We actually built the first fire truck, production fire truck. And Paul Darley, who is our CEO today, is the grandson of William Darley, who actually got with Henry Ford, and they built a fire truck on the Model T, and it was the first production fire truck ever. Back then in the early 1900s. Yeah, it's cool. They actually have a serial number 1 in our headquarters in Chicago. It's Itasca, so just a little bit outside of Chicago, but really, really cool company. They've been in the fire business and supporting first responders for over 100 years. And then having that, basically they looked around and all the neighborhoods had fire, they did their own firefighting back then. There wasn't really a fire department. And so William Darley got with Henry Ford and said, hey, let's make this thing cheaper. I want to say it was around $9,000 for a fire truck back then in the early 1900s. And when he made that Model T, it basically took that price down to about $2,500. So significant. Then they had all interchangeable parts and all that. So that's where Darley got their name. And now we have a defense side of the company that since 2009, they've been supporting defense since World War II. But what we do now is we like to say talks to socks, anything and everything, C5ISR, the logistics side, robotics. We work all the way from the program executive offices and research and development, all the way down to supplying the maneuver assets and elements, all the way across the DoD, 3 letters of the government, first responders and warfighters. So really, really a good fit. I love the company. It's a great place to be. And that's where me and Nick obviously met, coming out of the military and having that background and then being able to really give back. So.
Yeah, that's for those of you watching that are still active duty and you're wondering like where the stuff is that you thought you ordered or you requested. And we've all been there in the military, wondering why we only got half of our issue and all that stuff. And it's super cool that the way that Rob's aligned his team to where it's a bunch of sergeant majors or retired E8s, E9s that really cared about troops. All right, and now when I walk around with these guys, you can tell they're walking into these S4 and 8 sections in headquarters and like, hey, look, like we have the way to get your guys everything that they need really fast. Right. And I thought that was super cool. And obviously, when I started doing the work with the virtual reality company, I called up my buddy Mark, who I was the first sergeant with in Hawaii. I was like, hey, how come, I thought Hawaii was not that good of a unit at first, it's like, but why were we getting everything that we requested and wanted right away? And he goes, it's this program called TLS, man. I know how to use it. And this is when he was still active. Right. And he's coming in there. So talk about that. Like, I know for my job, it's rewarding to still go, base to base and talk with people. Talk about that for like transitioning veterans or people like that. Of like, you might not necessarily have to find a new tribe, but maybe just get in the tribe maybe not the way it used to be. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no. So it's, procurement.
No, it didn't.
The crazy thing about the Army is we're terrible at procuring, just period. Right. I mean, even on the log side, they know the contracting commands and so forth, but the contract that we're on, you mentioned TLS, the DLA contract, it's essentially it's a brand name specific, right? So what you want is what you get. It's a 72-hour process. And so what we did, I learned about the company in the process when I retired in 14, working with another company, and eventually came to Darley 3.5 years ago. And we built the Army team to support the Army based on, like you said, E8s and E9s, and guys who know exactly what the mission requirements are. They understand the pain points, and they understand where the capability gaps are. And if we don't know it right now, we're learning it. And then we link in with companies like you work with, Nick, on the virtual reality side, where a command wants that specific item, and maybe they've got some time invested, they've got some possibly even money and resources invested, and it goes through a contracting office that they may get something, but it might not be what they're looking for, and then they got to go back and re-procure it. So this contract really helps situate and facilitate the procurement and getting the units exactly what they're asking for based on their requirement, and in a timely fashion. It's a 72-hour bid process, and it really, it's kind of like heartwarming on our side because we all get to give back. We still get to have that touch point with the active duty. We're still, I've got guys all over the country, and we have the ability to cover all over the world, right? The Indo-Pacific theater, UCOM, and everywhere in the continental United States. And so as these guys are deploying, we go into deployments and rotations with NTC or JRTC. We'll help outfit them with the equipment if they're not familiar with exactly what they want to purchase. Well, before you end up spending your unit money, let's put these systems on you. Let's go do proof of concept. And when you come out, let's tweak that, figure out what works, and then we'll move into the procurement process when you're getting exactly what you need to fill the capability gap. So I enjoy it. I love doing it. It's what we did as NCOs in the Army. Try and find the capabilities that we can fill our capability gaps with, and how can we better equip our troops and better equip for training, for combat, and for war. So, I love it. It's what I do every day. It's a great time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, hey, anybody who's watching this that's still active duty, all right, feel free to email the Big Earl if you're wondering about what your supply chain looks like, and I'll get you in touch with these guys over at Darley. It's super awesome. But, buddy, what are you all triggered about right now? Because I know Rob's an old war fighter. He doesn't want to talk about Darley all day long. But what do we got going on here?
Oh, you talking about the fact that Alabama just stopped Tennessee on 4th and 1? I mean,
but also, what's Lisa talking about?
The funny thing about the whole supply chain thing, and it's like as infantrymen, even on a team as a Green Beret, like we would bitch about the supply chain and bitch about not getting things, and that's about as far as it went. You know what I mean? You bitch about it, and then you just make do. You just learn to make do. The greatest thing that ever happened on my team was one of my Charlies got tired of bitching about it, and then learned it. And then everybody was like, "Why are you guys getting slings and butt stocks and all this other shit?" And he's like, we're just ordering it. You can order it, right? You can just get it." And we were like, "Wait, what? Like we can just get it?" And we get the system is there. It's just learning how to use it, which seems to be the biggest pain. They're like, "Oh, I don't have time to do that. I'll just make do with this half butt stock that I have, and it'll be fine. Nothing, no big deal."
Trying to find out what Lisa's trying to say. Sorry to interrupt, but what is Lisa trying to say?
I don't know. We gotta get out what Lisa's saying.
You're talking about that? I don't know. I don't know what.
Lisa, first and foremost, where are you tuning in from? Because we've had this before, and it was like somewhere, I think, where was it? Asia somewhere. So it was like 2 a.m. So there's a reason to be a little crazy, it's 2 a.m.
Well, I was on my 12th bourbon yelling at that one poor lady. She was fine. She was actually trying to compliment us, I think. And
how is you know what we
Arkansas? Your neighbor's a buddy.
Arkansas.
Hey,
Lisa, we're trying to understand what you're saying. We're trying to decipher.
You got to give it up to Arkansas and their governor. They're like China.
Yeah, that's true. Gotta love the Huskies.
You don't get to own any land here anymore. Like, we're taking that back. That's our land now. You get out.
No, Lisa, I was a bourbon drinker.
Yeah.
So you're the beer.
The other thing I was going to ask, what's the deal with DLA? I just saw a thing where DLA is in like fairly big trouble for all their their warehouse shortages and well, not shortages, but their overages of like broken equipment that's like deadline.
Oh, I saw that like $6 billion worth
Yeah.
of broken equipment.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they
Well,
have to inspect like it's new shit, and they're like,
yeah.
it's busted. Like we can't
Well,
wear it on
a
time.
lot of it is stuff that was, if you remember, back when we were all running around the Army, DLA, they had warehouses all over the world.
Yeah.
The chiefs, the maintenance or the supply chiefs could go in there and their little G Whiz, Samsy, or whatever it was, and they could order all over the world.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
rid of
DLA
Womack
got
and
rid of a
Cotton.
lot of that, right? What's that?
I'm just sorry. I'm just following Lisa's chat. I'm trying to like decipher what she's saying.
Oh,
Stop
They get rid of Womack and Cotton. Man, we got Womack babies
the
here.
hospital, and then the Womack Hospital. You want to get rid of that, and then get rid of Cotton.
Hey, I hate cotton too.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
cotton.
all about life.
Yeah,
Lisa, you
I
have
want
our
nylon.
undivided
Some
attention
nylon
right
up in
now.
Yeah.
Let's go, Lisa. You have our undivided attention.
Yeah, you
I
got
get rid of Womack,
so,
man. Both of my
I'm
babies
in.
are Womack babies, man.
I
My kids are
Your-
both
Your
Womack
kids are
kids,
Womack
too.
babies too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, mine are
you
both
do
of
too,
mine
buddy.
Yeah.
Our kids had the same midwife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like,
right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah.
We're not getting rid of
Yeah,
Womack.
And
Yeah,
Lisa, we're just, it's a
forever.
dumpster fire, Lisa. We're having fun with you, but we're just trying to get rid of Womack and Cotton. All right. Explain that as we continue with the dumpster fire. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Can we get back to DLA and how do I get free shit from DLA now that
Rob's
I'm
like,
not?
how the hell are we
they're-
going to
they're
talk about
probably-
DLA? I didn't think I'd get a DLA conversation sparked, but here we go. Dumpster fire.
Yeah.
DLA conversation.
Well, they got rid of. Well, the Army, well, not just the Army, but DOD, they realized, especially during the GWAT, way back when in the early 2000s, they can't compete. There's so many other organizations out there, the Amazons, the Walmarts, all of the material and all the equipment the Army or the DOD needs is right there at your fingertips. It's not sitting in a warehouse that's 10 years old. And then on top of that, in the warehouse, you got to have people maintain that. You got to go through and all the inventory. So I think that's where I'm not familiar with the story you're talking about, but that's where this contract that we're on really came to be sparked. Is why would we have the military and why would we have this real estate and these big warehouses and these people manning them when we could just reach out to the commercial off the shelves? Why don't we just call L3 Harris or call Darley and say, hey, we need X amount of radios, and we execute that contract and they get the radios within, several months, as opposed to waiting in this massive bureaucracy of warehouses and going through. So that's where the DOD really is kind of leveraging the industry right now and the civilian market. The Amazon, Jeff Bezos ain't an idiot.
Nope. Turned a bookstore into what it is now. Arkansas Patriot
Yeah.
in the house. What's up, Todd? Oh, we got all the shaddies on now.
So
we got the husband on too.
Robert, where all are you guys located? Are you guys like on every base or what?
Yeah, so on the Army team, so we have a Navy team, we have an Air Force team. So we cover all DOD, we cover all the 3-letter organizations, federal organizations, local and state agencies. So any first responder, any local, state, federal organization. And then on the Army side, we're all over the continental United States within the regions. So we are touching all the bases. And then also Indo-Pacific. And EUCOM, we don't have boots on the ground right now on the Army side of EUCOM. We're working on that. So, hey, if you're out there and you're listening and you're in the European theater and you're looking to either get out and stay there, hit us up. I'm looking for somebody in that region right now, but so we need boots on the ground there, but really, yeah, we're worldwide. We cover, and we also take care of, it doesn't matter if they're in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Africa, we get the equipment directly to them. And we get it to them as quick as we possibly can. As long as we have our hands on it, we can get it to them very, very quickly. And then they don't have that bureaucracy of the logistics supply chain on the Army side. It's all done on the civilian industry side. So it makes it a little bit easier.
Hey, Rob, sorry. We'll have you on as a guest host again. You guys keep going, but I got to jump because I got a basketball game for my daughter I got to go to. But hey, love you guys, and we'll see you next week for sure.
Hey, Nick, try not getting kicked off.
I got kicked out of the 8th grade game. I'm gonna try to stick around for this one. Hey, don't call them fouls that are bullshit fouls.
Right. Yeah.
First
by the
calf,
way,
Todd. First calf. Okay. I mean, yeah, you guys are all right.
yeah.
I got all night, so I don't have to go anywhere.
No, I have to get off eventually, but yeah. I know Buddy was asking some
Well,
questions and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
about to go get a refill on my my coffee here in a second. But so I guess the big thing is, how do people get a hold of you if they do want to like work
Be right back.
for Darla or any of that shit shit or
Yeah,
you
so
know
a
what I mean?
couple ways. You can go to eDarly. You can go to eDarly.com.
Yeah.
Got a little feedback, so you can go there. And then they can always reach out here to you guys at Veteran Trash Talk, and Nick can push them out my email. If you want me to put my email out there, I can absolutely do that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. They can always just go to edarley.com. No big deal.
eDarly.com. They can reach out, look in there, and they can find my name and send me a little personal message or send a message to the company, and they'll hit me up, and then I can reach out to them, or I'll get the reps in their local area directly involved with them.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So how long have you been with? You said you've been with Darley since 2014.
So I retired in 14 and worked for another company before that. I've been with Darley since 2020. So right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Coming up on 4 years.
Yeah. And then, do you need a logistics background? Is that a big thing, or is that what you
Nope.
guys are looking for? Is logistics
Yeah.
backgrounds, or
So great question. The answer is no. You just need what we're looking for is the military background. I can teach a squirrel logistics. That's the easy part. What we're looking for is your experience out there in the field, and it's non-MOS specific. Most of my guys are retired 11 Bravo Sergeant majors, so you don't have to be this logistics guru. What you need to know is really listen. When you retire from the military, it's all about Rolodex, it's all about your experience, and it's all about your contacts. End of story. You're valuable for 2 years in the industry. This is according to me, but you come out of the military for 2 years. Your experiences, your contacts, your relationships, those are valuable. And then if you're not exercising those for 2 years, we all know every 24 months everybody changes out, right? It's changing commander, new NCO. So that's where that 24 months. So if you're looking for an opportunity or a job, you work from home. That's the other beautiful part of this is you're working from home. There's a little bit of travel, depends on where you are. But yeah, it's just literally, I can help teach you how to do what we do. But really it's just figuring out what the pain points are, where the capability gaps are. And we work with 3,500 companies out there to figure out how we can fill those capability gaps and how we can help support the warfighter.
well, it's pretty badass, pretty cool. I need a job, so I'm probably gonna hit you guys up. Like, yo, let me get that job. So, anyway, well, we got to close out. Apparently, Dave's supposed to have the AAR, I think.
No, I don't have the AAR. That's all you, buddy. You took
No, it's
copious
not.
notes earlier.
No, it's not. I was only taking notes on your stupid your conspiracy about the
The
Egyptian.
Kincaid cave.
You know what? I don't understand how that didn't come up with Rob earlier. He knows about logistics. Logistically, bringing everything over from Egypt seems difficult. Just saying.
Well, Rob
did they do
agreed that conspiracy was actually accurate. Like he thinks that it definitely occurred.
Maybe those caves in the Grand Canyon. All right, back to that conspiracy, Rob. Maybe those caves in the Grand Canyon are like DLA type warehouses, but for Egyptians.
They could be, or there's a distinct possibility those caves connect to the caves in Gaza with Hamas, and maybe we have Hamas fighters in the Grand Canyon.
They're going back and forth. Yeah,
Have you guys
could be.
There is a conspiracy that there's a trail in the Grand Canyon. Have you guys seen this, buddy? You're on TikTok quite a bit because I always see you arguing with people in your car. That there's like, obviously, I don't even understand how this would happen, but there's actually a trail from the Grand Canyon that leads to Africa. Like, I don't know how it would go through
I
like
heard
the
that.
ocean and stuff. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, there's some crazy shit, but like, come on, man.
How long would that walk take? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like at least 12 hours. It's going to be more than a 12-mile foot march.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
This isn't like Sarah Palin saying, I see Russia, This is like straight up.
There better be some really good restaurants on the way. Cause
I bet you are. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can get some Cuban food on the way there. So you're good to go.
Well, somebody fucking I want to know who would have figured it out. Like they just went into the cave and they're like, I've just been walking.
I was just walking, taking a stroll, and I was in Africa, bro.
I've been walking for 3 months, and then they pop out, and there's like an antelope and a lion running by, and they're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like, how did we go from buffalo and deer to like elephants and lions? Like, this is. Huh.
You know what's the weird thing about that Grand Canyon story too is even now you cannot there's been documentaries where they try and fly helicopters in through
there's
the Grand
no fly
Canyon.
zones. There's areas of no fly zones.
They won't let you go near. So nobody's ever been able to go back to the area that he says he found the cave. So nobody can verify it. It's completely cordoned off. And
supposedly there's a Sphinx there as well.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't it be? That the Sphinx is like because he just stopped crawling. He just laid down and turned to
one of those giants.
Medusa.
Yeah. Well, they do say that the Sphinx was actually a giant, like a culture before. It was a giant, a lion or whatever. That's why the head is so much smaller than the rest of the body, is because when the pharaohs came in, they were like, yeah, well, we can't just have this other culture represented. We're not going to tear this thing down, but we are going to make a head out of it. Like so we get up there and rebuild this thing.
Well, the weird thing too about it is there's no, I mean,
it is alien.
They have hieroglyphs on everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't have hieroglyphics on is showing the Egyptians building pyramids or showing them building the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Or, so why not? The thought is, did they fall in on that stuff?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that there are hieroglyphs adjacent to the Great Pyramids and like the other buildings that surround it, but there's not even hieroglyphs in the pyramids, which is weird.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah, we can stay on for a few more minutes and talk about the pyramids. Now you guys got me all fired up again. But what gets me the most is like how they're like all set, like facing certain stars and like a star constellation where you could like draw a line to like the pyramids and like Mexico and stuff, and they all align with each other. And then cultures back then that had nothing to do with each other all decided to build these triangle structures just out of nowhere. It's wild. It's super fascinating. Like
that part actually does make sense. The fact that the first structures would be pyramids, because if you're going to build something,
why?
Why? Okay.
Yeah. Why does it make sense that they would pick a pyramid? Why would you not build just like a square like building and not something so sophisticated and hard? Because one mistake, like 2 years into building this thing, it's not connected as a pyramid at the top. Like, I'm listening, buddy. Yes, you can talk now.
When you went to the beach when you were a kid and you built sandcastles, did they look like skyscrapers or did they look more like pyramids?
And they were circles, like buckets that you would take.
No,
I don't know what kind of sandcastle you were building, buddy.
Because in order to pile dirt up, you have to have a wide base and a skinny top.
A Stargate.
Well, that's more like a mound.
Yeah,
that's not really a pyramid.
Well, that's the first pyramids were mounds.
Yeah.
And then they squared them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Indian mounds and or Native American mounds here in the U.S.
Yeah.
That some of them
there's
and then they started squaring them off. That the shape makes sense. Now,
Well, there's
yeah,
engineering
but the
in a
engineering of
pyramid, not in the house.
the higher engineering of the actual, like, the
Yeah.
Great Pyramids, all of the different pyramids, and we're talking about the pyramids in like Egypt and China, whatever. But if you look at like the Taiwanese pyramids and like the Hindu
Yeah.
pyramids that are like super
India.
ornate and super crazy,
Yeah.
and then people can't find them. They found them after like 100 or thousands of years or whatever. But these pyramids are like the craziest buildings you've ever seen in your life, and you're just like, why would somebody just leave? Why would somebody cover this up? Roll Tide, by the way.
Well, Antarctica too. I don't know how
outside
true
of
that is, but there's supposedly one in Antarctica too.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Yep.
It's
But
that
outside
ancient
of pyramids,
alien, that ancient alien theory, which is like the star people came to Earth, which was the Anunnaki to like mine gold because they needed resources. Like I watched a bunch of ancient aliens, and they like came down here, and then they genetically modified like monkeys and like created their own people. And we used to actually be slaves for them who built the pyramids. And it's like a fucking crazy theory, but it makes sense a little bit. Like if you really think about it, like
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's wild.
I
It's
buy
wild.
into, we still haven't actually been able to connect monkeys or apes with humans. We know Neanderthals, they were a totally different species of human. And then you had, whatever that looked like. But here's a weird thing that me and my sons are big into ancient aliens, and we watch it all. But
same here.
Tie in religion to that, right? So every religious script has a creation story, has a floods and natural disaster stories, and then you go into like South America, and you look at and I don't want to get Christian or whatever, but they're all looking for this savior down there, regardless of what denomination of Christian. It's a white guy in a beard. Well, they didn't have white guys with beards in South America. So then you go to the Anunnaki, like you're talking about, and all the hieroglyphs kind of look like a white dude in beards. They're not Arab or Persian or whatever. So
super tall,
weird.
like giants. Yeah.
Right. So weird how that happens. And it's just, to me, I just think it's all been done before. I don't think they had cell phones and satellites around the earth, but they definitely had technologies. Look at Göbekli Tepe. They have, that has destroyed. We always thought 5,000 years was human civilization. We were in caves before 5,000 years, and then we came out of caves and we're hunter-gatherer. Well, Göbekli Tepe was temples and structures which they buried during the Turkey and Syrian and ISIS. When ISIS came around, they buried that. Now they've uncovered it. That's over 12,000 years old. So, okay, were we hunter-gatherers back then, or people built some type of temples, some type of cities? How? When? Well, I think we've done this all before, and now we're
so do you think though? Do you think that it's aliens then, or do you think that it's just ancient civilizations?
No,
a great reset. Maybe our reset is coming soon too, and people will find an iPhone or whatever, and then we're just all wiped out, and then the next civilization starts. That's like a crazy theory in itself.
Maybe it's the Men in Black, and they just hit you with that. They hit everybody with that big light.
Well, think about this. So yes, I think it was people from somewhere else that came here, whether they were mining, materials and resources, whatever, to do whatever. Who knows? What do we do, right? We go into Africa, we mine resources, we build mines, we take it, we bring it over. Who knows what they're doing? But what I really, if you think about it, sure, why wouldn't they leapfrog across the galaxy or wherever if they have that technology? Who knows? But here's the weird thing. Are we really that egocentrical? How many people on this planet know how to make a cell phone? How many people know actually how a cell phone works? How many people can actually launch a satellite? There ain't many.
Internet.
If we have
just like a telephone call. Yeah.
If we have electricity.
Yeah.
Who knows how to make a generator or actually make one work? So if we have an event that wipes us out, let's say an asteroid. We talk about the dinosaurs, whatever. we have an asteroid. Guess what? A third of this population even a third of this planet gets wiped out. We're screwed, man. We're back to Afghanistan in sandals and freaking man jammies with nothing because we don't know how to make the stuff. There's only a few people in this world, a very small percentage of the population that actually knows how the technology works. I love using my cell phone. I couldn't tell you how it works. I throw it to my son when the damn thing won't turn on.
Richard in the chat says fantasy television and movies have done so much that stifles intellectual thought and debate. Yeah, that is true.
Wrong.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
There's also, I mean, you're talking about like asteroids or whatever, or like huge things coming. Do you realize how little it would actually take for like let's take COVID for a second. People were turning on each other from a little like the rumor of maybe dying if they happened to get this disease that nobody could prove you did or did not get from, you know what I mean? Like it would take so little for us to like, we're that fragile that it wouldn't take a whole lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
As long as you wear your cloth mask,
we're having a different conversation, but it's about the same conversation as like, all right, for like $3 billion, would you suck your buddy's dick? Like
I would.
The question is not for 3 billion, it's for like fuck 300. Would you do it for 300? That's the real question. It's like, how little would you do it for? How little would we turn on each other for? I think it's
there dinner
it's a lot
and
less than we
drinks
think.
involved, or just the activity?
Yeah.
Maybe if
Hey
man, I'll do anything for a good steak.
Yeah. Hey, somebody said it's a rare steak.
No, but you're absolutely right. We are like, I mean, we are so the tolerance is so minute for just that quick.
Yeah,
and
well,
done.
I think that we all get that, and it seems like what happens, and this probably like some huge epiphany it's gonna be like, you guys are all gonna be smarter for listening to me right now. Just write this down, get ready. But basically, civilizations
copious notes, buddy.
Civilizations get so big that people combine into one area. Anything goes wrong in that one area, and it eats itself, and the only thing left are the rural areas where there are farmers and hunters and people that gather. So then they got to rebuild, and then they combine, and then they break apart again. Imagine if the power went off in New York City for 2 weeks, and nobody could buy anything, and nobody could
it'd be bad.
Go to New York City 3 weeks after and see how many bodies are stacked up around that place. They would all kill themselves. It would be insane.
That's the definition of like a zombie apocalypse. It's not like it's just that's what it is. Like people would go nuts, man. It'd be horrible.
And it'd be mass crime. People would be killing each other to get resources. You know, it's funny. That's where, hey, buddy, that's where they come down to our neck of the woods. It was in Georgia and Tennessee.
Yeah.
We can take care of ourselves if the power goes out.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it. I'm out here
in Arizona, right by the desert. Like, we're good here too.
I can take care of myself if the power goes out. And B, like everybody out here, we're so far less removed from the source of our food and water that we can go back and find it. It would be a little bit of a struggle for some of us, but it wouldn't be like in New York. Okay, you're out of food. We go. How long can you sustain yourself on what you can hunt in Central Park? Day and a half.
Now you're hunting you're hunting your neighbor to get their food.
Now you're and they're not leaving. They're not going to just leave New York. You know what I mean? So they're gonna just stay there and fight
Well,
amongst
cars would
themselves
be,
because it's
just think
trapped.
about it. Cars would be crashed. They'd be trapped. You couldn't even get out. Like you couldn't even drive out. People would try to
Right.
leave, but then
Yeah.
the roads would get congested. They're already
Look
crazy in New
at
York. Like,
look at New
yeah,
Where are
York.
you going to
Look at
plug
New
your
York during
electronic
the
vehicle
on
into to get out of
yeah,
there?
well, look at
yep.
New York on 9/11. People were trying to
Yeah.
leave New York on 9/11, couldn't leave Manhattan. They're islands. Like they couldn't get out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So,
Yeah.
like I said, I think that our we have an idea that like everything is just like we're solid, we got it, everything we're good, but we're in such a fragile state that if if anything doesn't go right, it's amazing how well we have it considering how fragile what we have is. Is all I'm
Well,
saying.
doesn't
Yeah.
China have those? What are they? EMPs or whatever that can turn off like
Yeah.
all like can shut off the
Yeah.
power grids. Like that is the
Cut
biggest
off
fear.
Well, it's
You're
not
everything.
just the
you're
power
spot
grid.
on, buddy.
Yeah.
Like you,
Anything
yeah, but
electrical.
you turn that off, like you said. Like people like us will be fine, but it'll affect like everything.
Yeah.
Think about your teenagers.
Yeah.
You set off an EMP
My
in
son's already
Georgia.
texting me, Dad, can I have my Wi-Fi back on? No, I'm doing the show right now. Like, chill.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? You know,
Yeah. Well, I
it's
mean,
like, you know what? Go outside and play.
yeah.
We went outside and played. I remember my mom being like, get out, you know, and lock the door. Don't come back until dinner or the
Yeah.
street lights come on.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
Where will we get water? From the hose. That's where you get the water.
That's right.
From the hose. Yeah.
Hell, sometimes you're drinking out of the creeks.
Yeah, well, we got people now that won't go swimming. They won't go swimming in the river because the water's green. It's green water. I don't swim in green water. What the fuck are you talking about?
I had a
Like,
long discussion with my kids about this the other night. You're absolutely right. Like where technology is like, we want to say, because obviously we didn't grow up around, like we wanted, I mean, I was an only child, so I had Nintendo when it came out. I had the Atari, but like if I had the choice, go outside and play, I was outside. Now
yeah.
our kids
Yeah.
are like iPads, phones and stuff. To an extent, I think that technology is amazing because like, you know,
Have you looked at these kids? Like they'll be
yeah,
sitting together.
I know.
They'll be sitting
I know.
together, and all of them are texting each other on their phones. And you're like,
Dude, for anybody that's watching, I hate like when I go to a restaurant with the family to have dinner and like families are sitting at tables and everybody just is on their phone. Like I don't even allow my kids to bring their phones in the restaurant. Like we're going out as a family, we're gonna talk. At the dinner
oh,
table, no cell phones.
I
Same thing
saw.
here at the
Yeah,
house. Like,
I saw a
oh
tweet the other
man.
day.
And then even the
Where,
people that are taking pictures and videos, like you're not enjoying the moment right now.
yeah.
You are actually
Well,
just filming
I'm
it.
so
Like
glad
it's
you said that
I
because
saw a thing the
we
other
always
day.
have had a cell phones. They don't even go face down on the table.
Yeah.
They're not on.
no,
the
they're
table.
not
If
allowed
we're
at the table.
sitting-
Yep.
I
we're
saw a
sitting at
thing
the
the other
table.
day where they were talking.
Yeah.
It was another family or whatever. But what they do is when they go out to, like, for the day or go out to dinner or go do it, you can't not have your cell phone. Like I mean,
Right.
it's the reality is somebody's got to have a phone. But they do like a fucking basically a draw out of the hat, a name out of the hat on who one person gets to take their cell phone just in case there's emergency or you need something or you
Yeah.
want to listen to music on the
That's
way
pretty cool.
there. They get to like
Yep.
run it off of their, in the car or whatever. But that's the only person that gets to take their cell phone for the entire day. So,
Well, and the crazy thing is, with the cell phones nowadays, my kids laugh at me because I didn't even have a smartphone. I think my
I had
last
an
couple
Ericsson
years.
flip phone that had like Snake
Yeah.
on there. The
You
game
remember
Snake.
remember the Razor? Remember the Razor? It was like it
Yes.
was that thin flip phone. That's what I had when I retired in 2014. They had iPhones and all. I didn't.
They
have,
had pictures too, but it was like black and white. It was like the worst fucking picture ever.
But I didn't have a smartphone, right? But think about all the information. You literally right now we have,
which is
we
good
have
in a way.
more
That's where technology. It's like I think that's pretty amazing. You know,
I love that, but you know what? They're dumber than ever right now. You have the ability to literally research it in 2 seconds. You can go, okay, was the hospital bombing in Hamas? Was that a Hamas rocket? Was that Israeli rocket? Boom! You'll have 100 links to go do your own research. They don't want to do their own research. They just want to look at the top one and go, "Yep, whoever put that in there," and they just believe it. They don't read it. They just see the headlines And we're the dumbest people nowadays with the most access to technology and to information than we've ever been. In my opinion, we're watching the fall of Rome.
Because we
We are
don't, but that's the thing. We don't have information. We regurgitate information from other people.
yeah,
That's why
that's true.
we're having to go back and explain to motherfuckers that the Earth's not flat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are we supposed to move from here to here?
Well,
Well, we still
you're
have
gonna
to
have
go
to prove
down
it.
and explain to you that the Earth is round. Right?
Have you seen the pictures of NASA, buddy? They're all Photoshop. They're all garbage.
They were superimposed.
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
And let me make it clear to the audience that like I'm not a flat earther, but some of the flat earth comments are actually pretty interesting. Like some of them are like
they're
cool,
not.
but
They're
I am
all
not a
stupid.
flat
That
earther.
dude on Joe Rogan, he was talking about it's all AI, it's all artificial. That's not a real picture. What are you talking about, man? It's from the moon. No, it's not a real picture.
Yeah.
I was like,
Whatever. It's fine. Sure. Believe what you want to believe. But here's the other thing. Like, some of the smartest people in the history of the world, like, did not have smartphones, didn't have college
you're right.
educations,
They did research.
they just thought about shit. Like, they literally, Newton just sat under a tree and was like, "Bonk, oh, gravity, that's a fucking thing. Let's talk about that." You know what I mean?
Apple was a
Does this work?
motherfucker back
You know what I
then.
mean? Like, okay, well, why does this work? I'm gonna have to think through this process. We don't think through getting up in the morning, let alone, like, common sense is dead. Like, thinking through things it seems to be dead. So anyway,
You know what? I think the worst part about it is, I think the the ability to have a conversation and sit in a room where you completely disagree with somebody and letting them illustrate their point and then illustrate your point and still walking away respecting the individual. I have a lot of people I totally disagree with. We do not have that art anymore. The kids nowadays and the colleges, man, and there's some crazy ideas and people out there. But my kids have some crazy weird ideas. But I'm not about to tell them to go to hell and get the hell out of the house.
Yeah,
We're gonna sit there and I'm like, I think you're a little crazy right now, but maybe I can convince you. And here's what my thoughts are.
yeah.
We do not do that at all anymore. We talk across each other.
Yeah. Well,
It's
convince me. That's the other thing. It's like, you
right.
believe that?
I love that.
Convince me. Let's go. Talk about
Yeah.
it. Why do you think that? Well, that doesn't seem to make
Yeah.
sense. Explain this.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd.
That's weird. How about this?
here's my
that
viewpoint.
statement.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, you gonna close us out, Dave, or what? Let's do this.
Man, this turned into like a dumpster fire. This was amazing. I think we could probably Chris, our baker, our fake Asian in the background. He's our tech guy. He's already
Dave, I could literally sit on with you all day long. You guys got to have me. I could do this all day long.
Same here.
Love this
I'm down.
And now that I'm actually retired, like I always said that Buddy and I Bill Pearson was going to jump on. He does our fight show, and we were going to do conspiracy segments, like maybe just one episode a month, but like where we just like go all in on like a conspiracy. And now that I'm out of the army and officially retired, I think I can do that because I used to receive a couple warnings back then during the trash talk hour because little things like drinking and stuff on the show. And I'm like, I'm not in uniform. Like you don't see me. It's a cup. But anyway, great show. Phenomenal guest, Ciaccio, nome italiano. Yeah, that's the only Italian that you know, but it was great. Yeah, great information, amazing company. Hopefully, we get some veterans that reach out to you and like, if you guys are hiring, obviously. Buddy's one of them.
I'll be reaching out. I need a job, guys.
Yeah.
Always.
And you're qualified, buddy. You're a retired master sergeant, Special Forces, Green Beret, like-minded individuals. So I think you'd be a good fit. But it was amazing having you on. For anybody that tuned in late, go to veterantrashtalk.com. That is our website that has the links to everything: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. For everybody that's on right now, go over to YouTube real quick, subscribe and like. We are shadow banned over there, and we wouldn't mind making a little bit of money off of YouTube because it is what it is. We got like 900,000 of you guys here on Facebook, so between all the platforms. So yeah. Thanks again for tuning in. Go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Buy some of our awesome merch. I am wearing the Only Infantry shirt today. It's one of our top sellers.
Ooh.
Good shirt. And we will catch you all next Saturday. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out.
Thanks,
Good
bro.